This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cageside Press here with UFC lightweight Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzalez, who takes on Terrance McKinney at UFC Vegas 59. Erick, first of all, I could see that you are right there in the heart of camp. Just talk to me. How's this one going for this fight?
Camp has been really good, man. We've been a little bit ahead of schedule as far as training and getting the game plan together. Because we did have a pretty decent notice for this fight. So it's been really good, man. It's been a lot of ups. Some days can be off or whatever, but it's part of training. Other than that, man, training has been absolutely amazing. Been kicking ass and weight's already looking good. So not really too much to worry about, but but getting this month going as hard as I can and be ready for fight day.
So can we work backwards a little bit? So let's go back to that fight with Jim Miller. We don't need to talk about the result. We know a shortish notice didn't go your way, but you're here in the UFC now. First of all, it's one thing to you're working on the regional scene. You've been on TV a lot. You've been part of this other stuff in other organizations. To officially be able to say you are a UFC fighter, to wear the kit, to wear the gloves, to go out there, to get introduced in the UFC. Can you put into words what it was like to just reach that point and just hear all
Uh,
that, have all that?
it was honestly more breathtaking, man. It was a huge honor, and I worked my ass off for 9 years to get here. So to be put on the kit, to get the gear, to even get a fight, and be able to see myself on ESPN, have the family be able to say, "Hey, look, my cousin's a UFC fighter." That means a lot to me, and I'm just excited, man, and ready just to get back on the winning horse, though.
Talking about the fight with Jim Miller, what did you feel? Was it just one of those things like just timing, just zigged instead of zagged? What would you say about that fight?
The weight cut had a little bit of toll on me, which I couldn't take as much damage as I normally used to. Um, so I think that had to do had a big part of it as far as getting knocked out for that fight. It happens. He caught me with a really good left though. Regardless, I did one small move, and he's a veteran and stepped on that gas for that left hand and caught me clean. So it was a well-timed punch on top of this weight cut that was really tough. But it is what it is. I took the fight, and I knew what the outcome could possibly become.
And now to fast forward a bit, in March, you're getting ready to go. Devontae Smith, second UFC outing, more full camp and everything else. And just walk me through it. When did the cut on the foot happen? And just obviously, it's a whole it's a domino effect, right? Suddenly, all the phone calls got to be made, etc.
Yeah, so it happened about a little bit over a week before my fight, and yeah, I want to say a little bit over a week. Unfortunately, I was training, and one of my teammates forgot to put on a mouth guard, and we were sparring. So when I went up for a nub kick, my foot went straight into his teeth and his mouth. He was fine, and it cut the bottom of my foot really, really bad. So I was off my foot for about a month almost. Even when I got back onto it, I had a lot of pain from like my nerves or whatever. Something got hurt pretty bad. But after that month, I was good to go. I was training. Pretty much 3 weeks into it, after my injury, pretty much got back on the mat, started moving around light. The last week of that month where I was off, and I was back to training in no time.
I'm sorry, but were you sparring Frankenstein? How the heck do you kick into someone's teeth and that's fine? Like
It
I
was a
would
flush.
lose all
It
of
was.
this.
It was. You know what? I'm surprised that nothing happened to him. But flesh versus teeth is versus the sharp end of a teeth. The teeth will win. I found out the hard way.
I gotta say, you got one lucky training partner, if you don't mind my saying, man. Yeah. So you touched on it, recovery and the camp. Like I said, you got quite a bit of notice for Terrance McKinney, and look, it's very clear the UFC has been very high on this kid also, and so I think that has a big part. Like both of you guys get the advantage that they want to see just how much you guys can do. Just what was your reaction when they gave you that one? Because for not having a number next to his name, he's one of the better guys I think you could get if you're on the up and up at the UFC.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's been on a sick win streak. Not right before that Drew Dober fight that he took on a short notice. He's got a lot of momentum going his way. He's very talented kid, very very powerful with his punches. Uh, so I think that this fight, the more I watched him fight and the more I studied his fights, it's much more a perfect fight for me. Um, so it's not that I'm not worried about this guy. I just know what he already has to bring and what he offers to the table as far as his striking, as far as his durability, his endurance, and all that. It's all pretty much been the same. You look at his record; a lot of his fights have been one-round fights, or if they go the distance, he usually loses. So, I know where I stand, and I know and I think that UFC's testing me. I mean, considering that they gave me Jim Miller for my first fight, and then now they're giving me this kid. So I think that it's just gonna be a very good night for me, and it's gonna be a very tough fight for him. But I think the lineup is perfect, man. It's a really stylistic, clean matchup. I know a lot of people are probably seeing it one-sided because for my first fight I got knocked out, and they've never seen any of my past fights, nor will they, because that's just how fight fans are, unless they're MMA nerds. So to me, it doesn't really bug me. I'm just excited, and I think that taking this momentum off this kid is going to be my way of derailing the hype train and going into and starting my own journey here of success.
I did want to touch on that a little bit because for fans who didn't follow you through Combate Americas and the regional scene out here in SoCal, what do you think fans should know about what you bring out there? Because I think people unfairly maybe judge the Jim Miller fight because of the way that all came together. And I knew looking at you, like you were obviously out there, no excuses. You went out there because you believe you could win this fight regardless of the circumstances. But I know that is not the Erick Gonzalez I'm used to seeing. So, what do you want fans to know about what you do bring out there when you're in the cage?
I bring heart, man. I bring heart, and I bring a fight. I'm always exciting. I'm entertaining. Um, I like to be violent as possible while I'm in there. You look at any of my past fights, I'm always bringing the fight in, and I'm always making it as exciting for the fans as it is exciting for me. And it's what I bring to the table every time. I'm a complete fighter overall. You know, um, Regardless of these rankings that people want to put out there, I think I'm a very underrated fighter, and people will see that this next fight.
One more side note on Terrance. Obviously, when you're on a run like that, you feel invincible coming off any win. I feel like, especially when you're winning by first round knockout. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like we're going to see a little bit some different out of Terrance? A little bit, let's just say sometimes, like, hey, you're supposed to learn from these losses, maybe more caution than we were used to before he lost to Drew Dober.
I personally think he's going to come out the same. He's going to come out really fast and strong. If he doesn't, we're expecting a lot of takedowns. Um, if he did study, if his coaches did study my past fights, takedowns, have always been like kind of a thing where I get taken down even though I get back up. But it's something I've been working on nonstop in this camp, and especially for that last camp that I had. So I'm basically going camp to camp, in my opinion. So to me, that's why I'm so prepared for anything or anywhere this fight wants to go. But if he wants to stand and bang, man, I got a lot of stuff for him. But I really think that he's going to stay the same. I think he's going to keep swinging super hard and overthrowing a lot of his punches. And I plan to expose his holes, and then it'll be a very exciting night in general.
To talk about other things, the wedding with Diana, where are we at with that?
I haven't got invitations out, nor do I have a date yet. Kind of just been super busy with this whole fight, with the whole fight stuff. So we kind of just put a pause on that and join our engagement. The fiance's currently looking for getting her career started. So, you know, um, as far as that goes, we're not in any rush. But once I do, you're getting an invitation. So.
I mean, I would expect nothing less. I would hope I get to host the party, to be quite honest, Eric, but that's a story for off camera. No, and then secondly, the streaming part of the Las Vegas minigunners, which they mentioned on the broadcast that you had people there to really fill up the little apex for your debut. What was it like to, kind of look, a lot of people, even though they train out of Vegas, it's not home base necessarily with their families. So what was it like to be able to travel a little bit, have them with you?
That was actually really cool. Even like they announced, the commentators were talking about it, how like, oh man, this guy's bringing a crowd, and that's what I do, man. Doesn't matter if it's in Mexico or wherever, man. I usually have some sort of crowd coming in with me, and I got a lot of support from my family and my friends. So, that's not, it wasn't anything new to me, but it was really cool to see it on the UFC Apex, where a lot of guys don't get that type of love, considering that Jim Miller's a veteran, my crowd was louder, and it's just, that shit excites me, man. Nothing better than having fans that are riled up for a fight, especially when their fans are with you.
It, listening to it, watching it, it reminded me a bit of that one. It might have been Redlands Combate. It's just when you guys had that, and like the house was for just you guys, even though it's a smaller show, smaller crowd. And I really appreciate that. I've been in the Apex, so to have any like large group just for you, it's always a big deal. Does your
Mhm.
cat want to say hi to the internet, or is it he
Ah,
or she
yeah,
camera shy?
she just likes to
Hello.
she likes to sit on my lap when I'm on my computer, so she's in here
Is
for her daily pets.
is good luck on streaming, I'd imagine. No,
Oh yeah,
Eric,
man.
certainly, man. Look, it's been like I said before, following your career. For fans who don't know, this is going to be one of the better matchups. I know they're familiar with Terrance from just the way he's been hyped up. If you don't know who Eric the Ghost Pepper is, I promise you, this is gonna be one of the better fights on that card coming up. It's August 7th, right? Exactly a month from now.
August 6th, August 6th.
6th. There we go. August 6th. So, yeah, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzalez taking on Terrance McKinney. August 6th, UFC Vegas 59 at the UFC Apex. I promise you, you guys are not going to want to miss this one.